Rabbi say we're back with Chavrusa Daf. We're here with Moshe Yosef Blond. This will get a total of 6 views, but you know what? Somebody learning Masechtas Makkos, Tef Zayin, Amud Aleph about Shluch HaKan, next time they go through the Daf, they might pull this up. And I did it yesterday with Chavrusa, and it's a very geschmack piece, so we're going to record it. Is it Shluch HaKan or Shluch HaKan?
There's a Malkus how to pronounce it, but this one example, literally, if a person has a nest on their property, to Rishus HaYachid.
Yeah.
It's a private domain. Person cannot fulfill their obligation with that unless they make it ownerless.
What if he screams from Rishus HaRabim? Because it says send her away. Is there a Maisa that has to happen?
Yeah.
Can he do it with Dibur? He sends her away
By the way,
by screaming?
have you ever tried doing Shluch
Once or twice, yeah.
Yeah. A lot of times they don't
budge.
They don't want to go away. They don't want to leave their kids.
Oh.
They're tagged. So you have to be smart about it. That's why it's a difficult thing to do. But you have to make it on. That's an example. If you don't know the halacha, you might think you're doing the right thing. You might think you're doing a mitzvah, but you're not.
There's a whole sefer in it, even the English
Oh,
sefer.
yeah, a lot of them.
I did it in Eretz Yisrael. We had, in Yeshiva, right outside Yeshiva, there was a tree that had a nest with a bird, but you're right, it didn't want to go away. And even when it did go away, it came back. So someone
be an eyesight of it.
So someone else did it. Basically, you can continue doing it at however many times, but it has to be the mother.
Yeah.
You have to know.
That's why they say during the daytime isn't as simple.
Because the father's there during the day.
Right, yeah. There's a lot going on there.
Okay,
All right.
So we're talking about Tnan Hassam. Hanoitel Aim, we are about halfway down on Tezayin Amud Aleph in Masechtas Makkos, the last small line. Tnan Hassam. Hanoitel Aim al Habanim. Okay, so let's start. There's a pasuk in Dvarim, or psukim in Dvarim, that says if the mother bird is on the eggs, you should not take the mother bird, and you should also not only not take it, but you should send the mother bird away and take the young. You may take the young for yourself. I don't think that's required necessarily in the mitzvah. Maybe it is. We'll see.
No, you don't have to.
You don't have to. In order that should be good for you.
Temporarily take ownership of it.
Like pick them up, the eggs,
So
or the
this
nest.
question, if you need to pick them up, how many, if you could do it with the spoon, whatever. All these come up in halach. Yeah, the main topics of Shluch HaKan, the main sugyas are in Chulin, which is where this Mishnah is from, the end of Maseches Chulin.
And it's L'man Yarichon Yamecha, yeah?
Yeah, this is one of the mitzvahs that the Torah itself says you get longevity.
Kavod esavicha ve'esimecha.
Yes.
Why do you think it's tied to Arichas Yamim?
Shluch HaKan or Kibbut Avim? There's a
Shluch
lot of
HaKan.
reasons. Simple reason is it has to do with the parents. Right? It's a simple reason. Measure for measure, it's considered achzarius. It's very cruel. If you take in front of the parents' eyes, no matter what,
So if it's
animal,
cruel, why is
whatever it
that
It's cruel. That's why I know it's showing some level of kindness that we care about other animals, other creatures in this world, and we want to do it in a non-cruel. You see a lot of times by little kids, they want to step on bugs. They feel superior.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that.
So what's the kindness here if you're sending the mother bird away?
The kindness is that you're not being cruel in front of the eyes. Again, this is a
Oh, by
mitzvah.
taking the mother.
Yeah. This is a mitzvah that requires research, and there's a lot of reasons that are given. There's Kabbalistic reasons also, a lot of deep reasons, but this is every single creation in this world, any insect, any animal, it has a purpose. It's here for a reason. If you study it, you could take out books from the library, however you want to study it, you realize how Hashem is behind every single creature and how it helps everything.
So in this case, he took the mother bird. So he went against what the Torah says, because it says you shall not take the mother bird and you should send it away.
Yeah.
So this that he was over, Rabbi Yehuda Omer loike ve'ena mishalach. He was over this Saseh of not taking it. Rabbi Yehuda says he gets Malkus, and he doesn't send her away, meaning the mitzvah's over. He can't put it back, and then be mekayim the mitzvah. But the Chachamim say he sends her away, and he does not get Malkus because he fixed the Avera by sending her away. You're right, he should not have taken the mother bird, but this that he put it back and sent her away, he does not get Malkus. Zaklal, kol mitzvah loy saseh sheish bakum aseh. In the case of any loy saseh that has in it an aseh, ein chayavin aleh. One is not chayiv Malkus for that. Rather, what should he do? He should do the aseh, and he avoids Malkus. Amar Rabbi Yochanan. So Rabbi Yochanan says, okay, this that you said that there's a rule that any time there's a loy saseh that has an aseh that fixes it, that you don't get Malkus, ein lanu ela zois v'oid acheres. We only have two cases that Rabbi Yochanan says in which you have a case where he would get Malkus, but if he fixes it with the aseh, then he wouldn't get Malkus. And then any other time in which you have an isser that is fixed by an aseh, you never get Malkus. So, to say that more succinctly, there are only two cases in which doing the aseh will prevent you from getting Malkus. Normally, whether or not you do the aseh is not going to impact whether or not you get Malkus. You don't get Malkus. But in this case, if you don't want to get Malkus, you need to complete the aseh. So, comes along Rebbe Lazar, and he says the obvious question. Heicha, where's this other case? We see this case by Shluch HaKan. But what's the other case? Omar le, L'chi tashkach. When you'll find it says tashkach. But
by the way, this ties into what we were learning earlier in the previous stuff. With the bitulu, with the kimu.
Yeah, it's going to come up.
All right,
so
Rashi goes into that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he says to Rebbe Lazar, you're going to make me tell you what it is? Go find where the other Bryce is. So nafak dak va'ashkach. Rebbe Lazar went out, searched carefully, and he found it. What's the famous term? If someone says he didn't find it, he didn't look. Yeah. So here he went to look for it and he found it.
It's a Megillah Vav on the base. If you're gonna say that I toiled but I didn't find success, you don't believe him.
Nafak dak va'ashkach. The Tanya. We're talking about an oinus, somebody who rapes a woman. The Torah commands him to marry her. Oinus shegerash. If that rapist, the oinus, married and then divorced his victim, which he's not supposed to do, the Torah says you're not allowed to divorce her. Im Yisrael hu machzor ve'en loike. If he's a Yisrael, he remarries her, machzor grushasei, and he doesn't get Malkus. This is the other case. He's doing the aseh to fix the lois aseh. V'im kayin hu loike ve'en machzor. If he's a kayin, it's over. A kain's not allowed to marry a grusha, and because he divorced her, he gets Malkus. So this is the other case in which Rabbi Yochanan was referring to. Rabbi Lazar found this other case in which the aseh will prevent you from getting Malkus. Zak the Gemara beautifully. This is good according to the Manda Amar, which we learned on the previous Amud, that taiches up if he fulfills it and if he doesn't fulfill it. Meaning this idea that he gets Malkus is dependent. Obviously, he gets Hasra, but it's whether or not he does the aseh immediately after the lois aseh. And if he does fix it, then you're right. He is preventing himself from getting Malkus. It'll prevent him from getting Malkus. If he doesn't do it right after being warned, then he will get Malkus. So that stems well with Im Yisrael hu machzor ve'en loike. He's going to take her back. El laman detani bitlu v'loi bitlu. But according to the Manda Amar, who learns that if he's mevatel it or if he doesn't mevatel it, meaning the only way he would get Malkus is if he goes ahead and does something that would be mevatel the aseh. So he was megarish her. Let's just talk it through. Or in a case of the Shluch HaKan.
Yeah.
So he was over the lois aseh when he took the mother. So the aseh is putting it back and sending it away. But he won't get Malkus according to this Manda Amar unless he destroys the aseh. How? If he kills the mother. If he went and killed the mother, I don't know if that's tully on. Maybe. Yeah.
Right,
yeah. So in that case, according to
How
this,
about you didn't even kill them? How about something just happened to them?
yeah,
Weather,
happenstance, right? Yeah. But then I don't know if that's bittul.
An earthquake, a heat wave.
But I don't know if he gets Malkus because he has to be the one to be mevatel.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I don't know. That's what I was thinking yesterday.
I would assume the way I'm saying.
You're saying that he created an instance in which it's not.
It's for him or
but it says but that mandamar says bitloi v'loi bitloi. He's the one batel.
Yeah,
but it's a valid question. Valid question. So when you get Malkus, that's dependent on whether or not you were actively mevatel it. Granted, by the case of sending the mother bird away, you can find a case where he can actually be mevatel it. So in that case, we know he could be mevatel it. Elo oines, but by the case of an oines, bitlu v'lei bitlu heicha mishkachas. How do you find that Malkus is going to depend on bitlu and loy bitl? Idekatla, if he goes ahead and kills her.
Look at Rashi in the fourth to bottom line.
Yeah.
Anicha, he says bitloy kishe shachta. Could be mashma from Rashi your way. He nullified it when he slaughtered the bird. So that's a proof for you. Okay, carry on.
But in a case over here by the Oinus, where the only way to get Malkus is if you're mevatel it, how will you ever have a case of him doing the bittul, right? Remember, we said in this case, im Yisraelhu machzer ve'ein loike, right? But he has to remarry her.
Yeah.
So, so in this case, we have to find a way, according to each man da Amar, that he will get Malkus the way in the way that you explain someone gets Malkus. So it's good according to the Mandamar, it says Kimu, because he can actually bring that he is in charge of he controls whether or not he gets Malkus, right? Because he has to be the one to, if he doesn't do it immediately, right? Sorry, if he doesn't do it immediately, he's going to get Malkus. So he's in charge. But according to the number that says bitlu v'lei bitlu, you can have a case in which he does not control, that he'll never get Malkus. Hold on, I'm just trying to remember how this is. El mandatani bitlu v'bitlu, bishlam gabishlachkan mishkachasla. If you say that you have to do the bittul,
so that's when you shechted it, when you slaughtered it.
Malkus
so
for
right?
violating the Isser depends on whether or not the person
you
actively
killed the bird, so now you can't do it anymore, right? That's what Rashi says.
So that's why you would get Malkus. But bittul v'lei bittul heich mishkachslei. How would he get Malkus in a case of bittul? Because if idekatla, if he kills her, the grusha kamlei b'rabim minei, he's going to get killed because he's chayiv misa. He's not going to actually
forget about
get
the
Malkus.
The guy's going to be dead.
Right. So you won't have a case according to that man da Amar in which the Einis who divorces his victim is going to get Malkus for actively doing a bittul when he doesn't marry her, or he destroys the ability to marry her. Amar Rav Shimi Mechayzner. Rav Shimi Mechayzner said, you find that the Einis can receive Malkus for actively nullifying the possibility of remarrying her. Why? So Rav Shimi Mechayzner says that you can have a case in which he will get Malkus because it was a bittul unto his own, that he was the cause of the bittul, if he accepts on her behalf kedushin from another man. And by doing that, he has severed his ability to now go ahead and remarry her because she is marrying somebody else. So now it's impossible for him to marry her. And we're going according to the Manda Amr, by the way, that says Nisuin, once you have Nisuin, even without Erisin, you can no longer take her back.
You mean Erisin without Nisuin?
Which one's first? Erisin?
Yeah,
Erisin, sorry.
Back then they used to have a year in between.
Yeah.
Nowadays we do it all in one shot at the Chaseh.
So the word is not really any action, right?
Some Hasidim, their Tanaim is legit. They do it official. We don't.
Amar Rav Shimi mechayzno, right? Kigon shekiv lo kedusha me'achar. Amar Rav, how does that work? That he accepts on her behalf. Ish v'sei shliach. If she made him a shliach, I kamavatale, then she's the one nullifying it. Shliach ladam kamoisa, right? So she is the actual nullifier. If she didn't appoint him as the shliach, kol kamine, then he's not able to accept on her behalf. They're not married. There's nothing that he can do for her. So in this case, she's still going to remain unmarried. So we don't have a case of bittul, and we need that case of bittul. Ela Rav Shimi minaharda. This is a different Rav Shimi. Kigoyin shedira barabim.
Yeah, first was from Mechuz,
yeah. Different place, Naharda, yeah. So you find that he can do bittul in a case where he made a shvua publicly that she should be forbidden to him, and a shvua made barabim in the case of 10 people. There is a Manda Amr that says a shvua you can't be made for that shvua. In fact, the Gemara Hanich la Manda Amr neder shu de barabim ein le'afara. That's good according to the Manda Amr that says a neder that was made barabim ein le'afara. El Manda Amr yesh le'afara ma'akal meimar. That's not the answer that we found the case of bittul. If over here the actual shvua can be annulled.
Yeah, that's the other opinion. You couldn't know it.
Right, right. The madir, and for the Gemara,
you want to try to cover all opinions.
Right, and in this case where it's yesh le'afara, it's not actually bittul. Right. He's not going to get Malkus. The madir lo al das rabim. The case could be where he did it al das rabim. The Amar Amemar hilchasa neder shehud barabim yesh le'afara al das rabim ein le'afara. When you make a shvua according to Amemar birabim, then there could be a hafara.
That was done publicly.
Yeah, but if you're doing it based off of a public consensus, then there is no hafara, because even if you got everyone back in the room, you have to get them all on one page. Yeah. And that is not likely. So in that case, even according to the Manda Amr that says yesh le'afara, adas rabim ein le'afaras. So therefore, you have a case in which this brisa that Rabbi Lazar found when Rabbi Yochanan basically tested him, he found the case of machzor ve'ein loike in a case where after the grusha of the anusa happens, you'll have a case in which he was mevatalit when he said birabim that he's not going to remarry her. Now, let me ask you: are you allowed to make a shvua against something in the Torah?
No. Because the Gemara says mushvu ba'oimin meharsina. You already have from Harsina, our ancestors already said they made a shvu on it. They swear we're going to keep it. You can't go against what the Torah says.
So what if the Torah has a commandment to be machzor grushasai? How can he come along and now say, al das rabim, I'm making a shvua that she's usher to me?
Okay, so that you have to really look into halachically in terms of, right, if there are exceptions to the rule. Based on those exceptions, if we could say that. Mazeri said, how come I was married 70 years? Should have got married with 15 rabbis. Try weaving your way out of that. Right? So for every rule, there's exceptions.
So it says, generally, one cannot undertake, I saw it yesterday, one cannot undertake a shvua that conflicts with his legal obligations to his wife. And in this case, he's under legal obligation to her to remarry her. There are, however, ways in which his shvua can circumvent his existing obligations and the Gemara here refers to such a case. See Taisvis Dibar Maskal Kegain. Zak Taisvis. Kegain Shadira Berabim. Hakuntris Shematzallah.
Perish Hakuntris.
Perish Hakuntris.
That's Rashi, yeah, I saw that.
Shematzallah Avain She'asruloi.
Yeah.
Behedira.
Yeah. Okay, so I saw that Rashi. Where was that Rashi exactly? He found a sin.
That would answer
the second
her.
to bottom line. He found a sin. Now the Bach comes in here with an amendment also. But okay, he came with sin that would prohibit her to him.
Which line?
And now he made that neder. The second to bottom line, the Rashi.
Das Rabim, Shematza Ba'avin Shasrulei Ve'edira al Das Rabim al Das Besdin. So he did both.
That's Taisus.
So.
The question is, why is Rashi referred to as a kuntrus? Kuntrus is like a document. Kuntrus. Whatever. Okay.
So that is why. So he has in that.
He has a he's not just doing it for no reason.
Right.
Therefore the exception could already manifest itself. Over
right.
here.
So in that case, you could have bittul.
Yeah.
The loy.
Okay. Tells us I don't like that shot. Yes. I don't see it.
He doesn't see that shot.
I don't like that shot.
The imkain einoi mitzvah lekame. Mitzuva.
Lekaima. Then you wouldn't be commanded to fulfill it.
Ela nira shahadira beloy shum avoin.
Taisa says he made a neder. There was no sin. No sin at all.
V'shaper chal aleha kegoin de omar koines tashmishach alai.
Yeah. But it would still fall. It would still be valid shvua if he said, "I am making a koinim. I'm making an oath, a vow that I'm not getting pleasure."
Why? Why is that? If he didn't see
I'm not going to cause pleasure for you. The question is, which way is that? I have to look up that Gemara in Nedarim.
But why is he allowed to do that if he didn't find anything
could be a
dishonorable?
Typo, if you look in Misor Sashim Yosef, it should say Daf Tesvav in Nedarim, by the way.
Not Pei Aleph?
Yeah. Which is interesting.
But still, if he has a Chiv Deraisa to remarry her, how can he make a neder?
No reason.
Right, it's a neder, right?
So that
it's
would be
a shvua at this point.
Okay. So that would be the question on Taisus exactly. What is the lomdus? Why would this be an exception over here?
Right, because we need to find a way to have batolo, bittul in this.
All right, so you say like this. Why would he get lashes if he found something? This is Taisa's question, just speaking it out more, right? If he found something that was really a problem with her, so then he doesn't have to marry her, and why would he get lashes if he wouldn't? It's Taisa's question. He didn't now cause something to get nullified. It just happened that it was nullified because she messed up. It was another factor. This would also be going like what we were talking about before with the.
She messed up how? Taisus over here says there's no.
No. This is Taisus' question. This is question on Rashi. It's obvious for sure. You wouldn't be obligated to remarry her.
Okay.
Right. So Taisus answers. He's chalik. He argues. And he says, "Shedir below matzah b'shum avam v'filu hachi yishapir chalalav aneder afal pishum b'shum b'abah." Why? Keep going down. Merkumis b'shum shecha ba'amnam ilu hayoim merkunim tashmishi alecha lo hayachal haneder kivan shum b'shum b'lulakayim abah kishoim merkunim tashmishi alay hainu sho'iser osal atzma. He is prohibiting whatever she does. He says, "I am not getting any benefit from anything that you do for me."
And he's allowed to do that? That's enough.
Yeah.
The Torah will accept that bittul? Yeah. Or that even... He's allowed to make... It's not chal?
It says over here.
But according to Taisus, it has to be chal. He has to have the ability to do the bittul.
When he says it in this way, it's not...
So in what way can he make a neder? Answering her.
That's what it seems like the Gemara in the Nedarim discusses. Differentiates. If you tell your wife, "Ha'omer le'ishtoi hanos tashmishi alecha loicha leneder, shoy meshubad hu lo, loina, It could be a two-way street. Is the husband saying, I'm not going to get pleasure from you, or you're not going to get pleasure from me? It could be a difference between the two.
And there is a way for him to do it where he says, Tashmishcha alai. Maybe that means you're not going to get pleasure from me. So he's not severing his tafkid, his commandment to provide for her.
Yeah.
He's doing it on her to make her usher to him. And why does that work? Because he's her Baal?
I'm an expert in this.
No, he's not. He doesn't have the power to say Tashmi Shacha Alai.
I'm not an expert in the
but then again.
I don't know.
Okay, fine. Rabbi, you say you hear.
But I would say, if you do want more research, there's an Avnei Malum in Siman Kavches that goes into this more. Fucking Samach. It's not going on. Shmuel.
Zak the Gemara.
I have to wait till the Ganem and Shavuos.
Shai Shapiro's father-in-law was mechaven to this. I was learning with him last night. He was mechaven to this next question. He goes, V'su leka v'ha'ika. Gazel, Siman Gazel Mashke Nufea. Gazel Rachmana loy sigzel. Correct. Shai Shapiro's father-in-law, he says, we know loy sigzel. You're saying that the only assay in which you can do to fix the lois assay, and that's prevents you from getting Malkus. What about lois sigzel? It says v'heshav esag zela, and that is misaking the lois assay. Or by a mashkoin, the Rachmana Amar loisavei al beisai lavait avoitoi. The Torah says what? You can't. We were talking about Shluch HaKan, about not going into the house to someone's property to be mekayim the mitzvah.
Even if it's your own property.
Even if it's your own property. What?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Happened to us on our house.
It's your property. What does that mean?
Doesn't matter. It has to be ownerless.
Can't be.
No, you have to make it ownerless first.
Oh, how do you make your tree ownerless? What do you do?
You have to declare its ownerless. Discussion. You need to do it in front of 3 people, 10 people, maybe yourself.
It's not so pashut to do shluch hakan on your own property.
Start learning about it.
Yeah. So over here, you're not allowed to go into the guy's house and fetch his pledge.
She's talking about a collateral, right? A mashkon's a collateral.
This is like New York City.
Why?
They're
it's a collateral.
Freezing the rent. They're being very...
Oh yeah, over $1 million. Yeah, I know about that already.
I'm saying over here,
2 years, but then they're going to do less.
Squatters. You can't go in and knock them out.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have to wait outside, and you have to wait for the guy.
A Rolex watch or AP you want to take. AP watch you can't take.
Right.
Okay. It's worth $40,000, $200,000, whatever.
So you have to wait outside for him to bring that mashkin to you.
Yeah.
But let me ask you a question. What happens if the person who lent the money goes into the guy's house, takes the Rolex? The Torah says, Toshev loy ha'avoid kivoy hashemesh.
Yeah.
You have to give him back the mashkain when the sun sets.
Before
the sun sets. Same day.
Yeah, this is similar to...
Same day returns. Same day returns.
Yeah.
So in that case, you have an example in which the Aseh is going to fix the lois Aseh and prevent the Aver man from getting Malkus. Umeshkachos la bekimu v'lei kimu. And you find in both cases, whether you say kimu v'lei kimu or bitloi v'lei bitloi, that it is up to him. There could be a case of Malkus if he doesn't return the stolen item or the mashkein immediately, or by bittul if he burns the item. So why does Rabbi Yochanan say that there are only 2 cases in which you get Malkus if you're mevatel? Rabbi Yochanan actually holds a bitlu v'lei bitlu, but why does he say that you get Malkus only in those 2 cases? We just brought you a case of gzela. We brought you a case of mashkoin. And in those cases too, that it's up to you to get Malkus, and it's up to you to fix the Saseh with the Aseh. And if you don't, you will get Malkus.
Rish Lakish holds chemo, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hasam kevin dechayev b'tashlumin. There, the robber or the person who lent the money is chayev to make a payment to the owner. Ein loika mishalem.
Yeah, you gotta pay it back. So when you pay it back, that's when you fulfill the positive commandment that Aseh. The stolen object or the collateral.
Meaning, in those cases, he wouldn't get
Fill it
Malkus.
out. It's not considered a bittul.
Meaning he wouldn't get Malkus?
You could always do it. You could always do it. You don't have the money now, you can do it later. You don't have the Rolex now, you can pay it back later. You don't have the collateral now, you can pay it back later.
And therefore, how does that answer the question? Would he not have gotten
That would be
Malkus?
a difference, right? In the case of the bird, kill the bird. You can never get that opportunity, that chance back.
So you
But
can
here
burn
you
the
could.
item. You're saying then he would pay
So
it.
what?
You
It's
could pay the
replaceable.
value.
The question is if it's sentimental. It's a Rolex from a person's deceased parent or something. That's already something to talk about.
Aha, so there's no real case of bittul here.
Gemara is not talking about sentimental. It's talking about
Right.
what's the kosher cash value.
Kosher money.
Kosher cash, kosher dough.
What? So
Yeah.
in this case, that answers the question
Yeah.
in that you'll never have a case in which he would get Malkus, right? We were trying to bring a case in which he would get Malkus if he didn't complete the Aseh.
Right.
In this case,
And incomplete.
you can never sever it because
Right.
he'll always have.
You failed the readings,
Yeah,
you retake it.
He'll pay the
You
money.
messed up in school, summer school.
In fact,
Go
the
back
Gemara,
to the-
yeah, Maskav la Rab Zera, ha'ikah mishkoinei shel ger,
Mashkano, yeah.
mashkoinei
Yeah, that's the collateral
shel ger.
of a ger. Where does that make a difference? So you burned it, he died.
Umei sager.
A ger doesn't halachically have inheritors, yorshim. Right? So now, how are you going to make that back? And he's dead.
Yeah, you can't. There's no one to pay.
maxes.
Can he pay like the bedek abayas or something?
Nah, nothing doing.
Isn't that like a thing or something?
No, not a thing.
And for the Gemara, Hossam Gavra bar
Next time we're moving
Tashlumin.
in Kolator Kula.
Tezayin Amud Beis. We just turned daf Rabbi.
Yeah,
This is Amud Yomi.
it is.
Hossam Gavra bar Tashluminhu. There, in the case of the
Straight up
ger,
Yomi.
he doesn't get Malkus because he's in fact liable to payment at that time that he destroys the pledge. Vishibuda de ger hu dekapaka. And it is the claim
Terms here.
of the ger that seizes upon his death. The obligation to return the pledge by paying its value continued until the time of his death. This idea that the obligation ended with the death was not a product of the creditor's active nullification. Thus, he could not be said to have actively nullified the positive commandment. What if he goes ahead and kills the ger?
That would definitely be an issue.
Oh, then in that case, he's chayiv misa.
Yeah, that's an issue. The idea over here is that something happened which was an external factor out of the individual's control, and therefore the choiv is. By the way, a shibud is more like. It's a tough word to translate. It's like something that's collateral almost. Like you're subservient to the person in some way. It automatically comes off.
So we wanted to say by Gzela and Mashkain, there can never be bittul because he always has to pay. In fact, the Gemara, by a case of a ger who dies, umeis hager,
Could be.
then there could be bittul.
The answer is there can't.
The answer is that it's not bittul.
Yeah. Kill him anyways, you'd be obligated for others.
There's not bittul. There's no bittul because the ger dying
It's not your fault.
destroys the shibud.
Right. Just like how you were saying before with the shulchan.
I'm just trying to compare this to the case of the
Out of your
Einis,
control.
where we said before that Hold on, we need to find a case in which he could impact bittul. Yeah, so my question would be, if he actively killed him, there's a case of bittul. Why is that not a case of bittul if he kills him?
But you have Kimley anyways. You're gonna be more.
So then, anyways. Okay, fine. But he was involved on the Malkus.
Doesn't count though.
Yeah. Okay.
Get the harsha.
Fine. We'll stop here, Rabbi.
Stop here. We just started.
Oh, we just started. Sorry.
2 more minutes.
No, ikka peya, but there's the case of peya.
Yeah.
The corner.
Yeah. It's a second Masechta in Shas. You could learn Daf Yomi Bavli 5,000 cycles. You're not gonna know Maseches Pei because it's only Yerushalmi. So what's Pei? You gotta leave a corner of your field for the poor people.
You have to grab the corner. You have to grab one of the corners of Yerushalmi. You want to be Makayim.
Yeah, you don't just grab a corner. You grab the whole thing. Yeah. You got Oilos. You got Peret. You got like a Shecha Pei. You got a lot going on over there.
So Pei is the portion of his crop that a farmer in Israel is obligated to leave unharvested as a gift to the poor, who cut and take it themselves. All the time? They can come in at any time?
Shemitah, everything.
Not Shemitah, but like middle of the night they can come in and take it?
Yeah. Exactly. Again, they're not coming to your house. We're not talking about a little property that's 1/8 of an acre.
So
Talk about these guys at hundreds of acres, nothing's developed. You think you're gonna know a guy's in your field? You got a little hut that was the house back then. You got a 1-bedroom. So people lived there, not these monstrosities.
So the Rachmana Amar Loisachala Pa'as.
Yeah.
You shall not finish off the edge. But what happens if a farmer was over the Avera and he took care of the entire field? La'ani v'lager tazoiv oisam.
Yeah.
The Torah provides a remedy. It says, for the poor person and the ger, you shall leave them as gifts. So it commands the farmer to separate for the poor from what he cut. The mishkachas labikimu v'leikimu.
In other words, he didn't leave anything. He was supposed to leave some for the poor. He didn't leave anything. Okay.
So now he goes to what he harvested, whatever that he cut, and he takes off a corner of that for them.
Yes.
Okay, we'll stop here.
Yes,